I hope you bought the NASDAQ, because the question I had in our live trading on Friday afternoon was, should I sell NASDAQ? And my answer was, no, don't sell, buy. And this was exactly where you should be buying it. For those of you who joined us last week, thank you very much. We had a great time. A lot of live sessions. It was amazing. And you guys were really great. It ended. So hope to see you again next time. Or for most of you who said you would join the group, hope to see you in our group very soon. If you're watching me for the first time and you want to know who I am, I'm Anil Mangal, and this is your weekly outlook. Let's go. I would start as usual with the dollar index. I'm going to try to go really fast and hope you guys enjoy it. If you do like this video, if you like the content I do, I know it might sound a little uninteresting because this is not fun stuff. This is serious stuff. But if you do like it, please go click the like, leave your comments. If you were with us last week, leave your comments under this video. Let traders know what you thought about the live sessions we do. And we do 5 live sessions every single day, at least 5 live sessions every single day, where we take trades. There are enough of you who were there to see that we took trades, real entries, real closing and everything. We gave you everything. So if you would like to get more of that, there are 2 ways you can get it. You can join our group as a full-time member and get access to everything for life, 1 single payment, and you get everything for life. Or you can pay an installment and you would get access to our trading room live twice daily. You don't get that anywhere else, right? It will cost you less than a cup of coffee for a session, because you're going to get 10 sessions a week, 40 sessions a month, all for a nominal fee. And that fee will go towards paying for your course. So you're getting it for free. Let's go. Dollar index. Dollar index last week, if you're with me, and if you remember, we told you we would like it to go and break this low, because that will create a flat pattern or the start of the downside. If you're with us Friday afternoon, and I tell you, if it starts to reverse, don't chase it. Wait for a flag. I think we're already getting a flag here. We'll be buying. So let me go to the 1 hour. And from this point, we already bought it. If you're with us, we already bought it. We already bought it. We closed that. We'll be buying again. As of now, it is still a buy. Now, can that change into a sell setup? Probably. I don't think it will, but it possibly can. And when it changes, we will show you the change in structure and how we trade it. For those of you who were with us last week, and I will keep emphasizing this, because if you were not there, you missed quite a lot of educational stuff. I explained to you something called the ever-changing patterns, right? If you were there, you understand what that meant. How these patterns could change structurally as you move along. And that is a huge difference of what I created. That is different from what Elliott Wavers do. We do not decide what the pattern is going to be. We do not tell you it's going to be an ABC or WXYZ or this is what it. We follow what the pattern is doing. As long as we can identify it and forecast it, we're good to go. So if you follow me, this week, I will probably during the week put out an educational video for you on everything we did last week, all the educational stuff. Follow it, like it, share it. Dollar index, we're looking for buy setups. Silver, we were already buying silver, and I still think we will be buying silver. We bought silver up. This was a down move. We saw that coming. And remember what I said, you're not selling in this range. If you remember Friday, I think there was a question that there's some flag in here, whether we should sell these. And like we see these flags, but we're not selling silver. And I hope you didn't sell it. This is the structure. We're looking for a buy setup on silver. When you see something like that, you're looking for a buy. Now, here's the thing about silver. It's going really slow. So there's a good chance you might just break this top and reverse. There's a very, very good possibility for that. You might just break that up and reverse, or you break that up and you take off like a rocket. Now, if you're going to take off and it's a dollar base, not just silver base, then there's a good chance that dollar index might go down. I don't believe dollar index is going to go down. I believe it's going to go up. So there's a very good chance you might just break this top and watch for a reversal in silver. This looks very corrective. I explained that to you last week, and I told you there's a very, very good chance this thing could go and retest the low. So if you're following us, you know how we trade. Within the day, based on smaller patterns, the entry we are taking, whether it's a buy and sell, can change. So if you don't have access to us twice daily, there's a good chance the information I'm giving you here now would change by Monday afternoon. Right now, we're waiting for a flag and we'll buy to break this top. And from that point, it could either continue to go or reverse. We're going to decide that as we go along. Gold. Gold was looking downside. I think I told you we can sell gold because gold was looking pretty much downside and it came down pretty deep, much deeper than expected. Remember, gold, we were expecting it could make a flat. I am not sure we will even get to that flat, but I do believe we might be making a bigger correction in this range. So any flag here would be a sell, at least to retest the low. Any climb up here might give us short-term buy setups, only to retest this top. I don't think gold will be going up much, but we'll keep an eye on it. Right now we have a buy setup forming. So if this makes a flag, we will buy this back to the top, and then we'll see when it breaks the top or it gets to the top, what happens at that point. So I hope by Monday we get a buy setup. Gold Oz, sell setup. Wait for it to go back up and start selling. You wanted to get back to this top, you're going to look at a 1, 2, 3, come back here, go back there, complete this flat, and then it's a big sell-off. It is going to drop to break this low. I showed you the pattern, and I'll repeat it. Look, this is the pattern we want. We're in this one, and first you're going to come to this low, and then there's a chance you're going to break through this pattern before we go back up. Let's go. Euro. Euro is breaking out, but like I told you, it can't just go up like that. It has to pull back, make a flat, and then go. We're pulling back already for that flat. This is amazing because remember when we were buying this, I was telling you every trade you have to be careful because at any point in time, we're going to drop like this. Well, we are dropping and we're getting a consolidation here right now, which is a very good sell setup. It kind of tagged you here. You would have closed it Friday if you took the trade. It's an aggressive trade. If you took it, you know by rule, we'd have been out of that trade already. I would put it like this. We did break this structure, but we didn't break out of the entire structure. So it is pretty much still in a consolidation, except for now you're getting a bigger consolidation. It is still downside. I am still expecting them to drop to this level before we start the upside. So at some point, if this turned out to be a much bigger consolidation here, we will look for this trade down. Let it consolidate, and then we're looking for a trade down back to here. And from that point, I expect them to go back up. We'll see what happens at that point. Pong. Pong broke out. We were expecting Pong to come down. First, we wanted it to go up only to this level. If you remember this sharp move here, we had this sharp move. So we thought when they get to that level, there's a chance we're going to come down back. It did go up to that level. You probably never got a buy because it went up really, really bad. We're breaking out. That breakout really, it's not confirmed as a breakout. It could still be an expanding flat. So if I'm going to buy this anywhere here, I would be waiting for a flag, and then I'll take only one single trade up. This was a good buy. This was a good buy. This was a good buy. One single trade up. After that, if we get it, because be careful, we still have this possibility of it coming back down to the bottom here. Right? So we have the possibility of some down move here before they go. Even if you break that top. It's very likely we will break this top, but after that, it could start dropping back to this level before it goes back up. Now, if you get a flag, take the trade, because you can also get a long, drawn-out running flat where this just keeps going with a number of flags before it makes the pullback. Aussie. Aussie consolidating. It's dropping, but it's consolidating. So this would likely go back up, 15. See, this is consolidating. It can drop some more. I believe we can drop some more. Especially this piece. If it goes like this, you can get one more drop, something like this. But then it will have to go and break this top before you come back down, if you're going to come back down. I showed the bigger structure in the 4-hour. And the 4-hour structure likely can go back up pretty high. I think we had this one. If I can show you this. The first one you're looking at is this one. And the second one you want to look at is the daily structure, which is this one, right? So if and when we break out of this structure, if it consolidates in this range, which means up move on the 1 hour, consolidate there, we can still drop here, right? But If we break out of this, then we are coming to about this stop, and we can still come back here or break out. So on the 1 hour, you're trading this with a lot of caution, upwards, but with a lot of caution. So right now, I think it will go up some more. Let me take that out. Any small drop here to the downside, we can take the trade depending on if we get this, right? So if this goes very sharp like that, we might complete the running flat, drop one more, go back up, and then at that point, we'll decide if we get any downside or it continues to go. Now, remember, these moves within here are very, very short-lived. If you get a sell setup, it's short-lived. Dollar index is consolidating. So this is a range of consolidation, which means we can go here and come back. That will still be within the consolidation range. So let's see how this goes. I wouldn't be surprised if they just break this stop and then drop. Now, what would be the trade initially? On the 15 minutes, you don't have any trade. It's going up. On the 1 hour, we don't have any trade. No trade setup. You need a flag before you buy. New Zealand, you're getting a flag, but it's more of a sell setup. So see New Zealand, this one here, it's kind of consolidating in this range. And if that happens, instead of going back up, which we think this could do, we're looking at this as a running flat. Running flat means this should have gone back. But if it stays here, that means we'll be selling it instead of buying it. So what I'm looking for Monday morning, I'm looking to see whether this takes off. Anywhere here that I get a flag, I'm buying. If it stays in this range, we'll definitely be selling. And we not only be selling for a single move, we'll sell to retest this low. We'll sell it to retest this low. So if we get a 1 hour consolidation there for the sell setup, it will be a big trade to the downside. The up trade will be very careful. So if this moves up slowly, we'll take the trade, but don't need to break the stop. And then from there, we'll reassess the structure as it goes. CAD. Short term, we should retest this low. And then from there, upside. I'm on the 1 hour. So on the 4 hour, the bigger picture looks upside, right? This thing drop, make a flat, drop, make a flat. It could drop here, but then I think we could be going up. So there might be a sell setup here Monday morning, but after that, be careful. It could go right back up. Swiss, we're going up. And for all you know, this might be all for the running flat. If you were with us, you remember we were waiting for this to come down like this. It did come down, but now it's going back up. So here's the thing. If CAD is going sideways, why would Swiss go up? They're moving separately, right? Two separate currencies. And although they're dollar-based, it doesn't mean that this dollar is the only factor that moves them. Sometimes they move separately as an individual currency, not based on what the dollar is doing. So I think we're going to get more upside here. And once we, if it keeps making impulse, we will break the top. And from there, we'll see what happens. Could it become a sell setup by Monday morning? Well, if you drop like this, we would look for a flag here and sell it. But if it goes up, I think most likely this is a consolidation for upside. We will be buying it. Yen is doing exactly what we wanted to do. One more up here, and then from this point, we're looking for sell setups. I was hoping that would have happened Friday, but Friday didn't go. It just stayed and consolidate. You remember you were following me. I was like, if this goes to the top there, be careful. Watch for the big sell setup, or this big sell setup that I showed you. Well, it might come Monday, which is good enough. Let it go back to this level. We want this to go here first, right? And then the big drop. So let them finish this move here, and then we're looking for the drop to come. Let's see if we get that. The pattern we're looking for is a simple flat, which is this. Go back to the top there, and then look for the drop. This could be the start of the bigger downside on the yen. We did that structure. We'll probably do it separately again. Pang yen, going up. We're in this structure, and it can go up some more. As it gets to the top, be careful. Every flag you can buy. This was a flag for the buy setup. You can keep buying any flag you get. Right? Any flag you get at any point, you can buy. Swiss yen. We're expecting this to go up some more. I'm not sure we will get to break that top, but we're expecting it to break that top. Go break the top, break this top, and then drop. After it breaks the top, we'll be looking for downside. It's going up really, really slow here. This looks more like a flag for the downside rather than the upside. Now, would I be selling it? No, we wouldn't be selling this move down. So even if it drops here a little, we'll be waiting for that up move. Once that finished, then we start looking for the sell setup. Right? Because this is coming down really, really slow. We're in this big flat. See? So I'm expecting this here to go break the top and then drop here. What if it continued to drop from there? Well, we'll see when that happens. But right now, I think we need to get the up move first. Structurally, it looks more upside. New Zealand yen. Same here. We need to break this stop before it starts to drop. This is the bigger structure. So there may be a buy setup to the upside. Right now, there is no buy setup. Right now, it's looking more sideways for downside, right? This here looks, this immediate move looks downside. That is this move down, right? So you get that move down. Maybe after that, we get the upside. Drop here first and then give us that upside. So there might be a sell setup here on Monday, but that would be an aggressive trade. Maybe in the Asian session, it is possible. You can notice we have this pattern already waiting for this to drop. We sold it here already, but we closed that trade. So we're waiting for this to drop here, and then we're looking for the upside. Let's see. We might get that trade. CAD, just climb. It's still going up. It has to come here, make a big flat, and then we can drop. So pretty much similar to what we saw in the US yen. We want this to climb up to this level, and then we're looking for a sell. That was a Friday forecast. It's going up, so let's see if we get that trade to go all the way to the top. That would be a good sell setup. CAD, we're looking at this structure. 1, 2, 3, and then upside. So this is the trade we should get this week. Aussie yen, more upside for Aussie yen, but they're consolidating. So it's not going to go anywhere anytime soon. Most likely we'll see some more consolidation here, a little downside, but we have to go break the top. So I'm keen on the upside, not the downside on this one. Euros. So Euros, we were waiting for a sell setup here, but it climbed higher. It's still in this structure. Remember what I told you, this is going to go down because we broke the low of the previous impulse. I'm looking for a sell setup here. I'll take this off. If this flag stays there, there's a nice flag there in the 15. I hope the market opens very nice. I'm looking for a sell setup from here. That is a trade. It's an aggressive trade. You'll have to manage it really carefully if you take it, if you understand the way we manage. Euro New Zealand should go up a little more. Remember, we're expecting this to go. It looks right now at this point downside. I hope they actually just come here and make that move. I hope we get this move before the downside start. I'm expecting the downside, but I'm hoping we get that move first. Right, that move will complete this flat, and then we can drop. Complete that flat and drop. If they start to drop from here, we'll probably still be in the correction, which means at some point you're going to get a sharp move up. Euro yen. Okay, we're expecting this to go down big time, but there's high probability we will break this top again once more. Now, you can ignore the buy if the buy happens, and then you start looking for the sell to the downside. This is a really, really big move to the downside when it starts to happen. Right, this is the move. Come back all the way to this low from that point. So if you get a little more upside and you miss it, no big deal. Do we have a buy setup? No. Do we have a sell setup? Not really. We don't have a sell setup either. There might be a small sell setup here in the 1 hour. Actually, if the market open Monday and you get that trade at least back to this level, that would be a good sell setup from that point. EuroCAD, perfect sell setup. You can't ask for a better one, right? That's a perfect sell setup. Remember what I told you, how you'll sell it. We'll sell it in the 15. We actually, well, we sold this once already. I think it was this one, a very small one we sold. We're going to look for another one. This is going up slowly. You might get the sell much earlier. Sell this, right? If this doesn't break the top, that is the sell setup we'll be looking for. And then we'll be looking for a big move to the downside. I'll take all these out. I'll have to set them back Monday morning. Pound. The drop we were looking for, we got. It looks like we might get another drop here. We're getting another flag here. So we might get one more drop. Remember, I thought this one is going to drop. This one drop. This one would drop. So we might get another drop here. Maybe consolidate some more, but another drop. Eventually, we're going to get this sharp wave up, right? But it might come in a long, drawn-out running flat pattern. So take every sell you get. If we get another flag here, we're looking for another sell. And then it's just one drop, take profit. Once we start to consolidate, we take profit and then we go. Euro pound, Euro Swiss, sorry. We're looking for a breakout. It didn't break out. It went up some more. So now you're right at the top, and this is where the trouble starts. You're right at the top there. So what you're making is another flat like this. See this? It's another flat. So this is going to come back here, but then we're going back up. So there might be a short-term sell here, but then you're going right. See this one here? It dropped, and then you go right back up. So this would be more like a big flat for upside. Let's see if you get that trade. That'd be a difficult one to get. It's pretty sharp. Pound Swiss, we're moving up. Nothing unexpected here. Right, once we finish the flat, it's moving up. You be very, very careful with the buys now. I warned you, right, that you can take the trade, but just one impulse, take profit. If we get another flag, we take the trade, one impulse, take profit. Because at some point, you're going to start to get a deeper correction. There's a lot of divergence. The move up is pretty sharp. See this? The move up is pretty sharp. We'll keep buying. Every trade possible that you get, you will take the buy on. But then you'll be careful, right? You can see the divergence is very, very strong. Now, what if we get sell set up instead of buy? What if this drops? What if this drop and give us a flag? Well, we'll take the sell, but the sell is a correction of a daily structure. So you get a lot of good sells down. It will go down, go up. It will stay in a sideways move for a couple of weeks and then go back up. Pound New Zealand, all of them have the same structure. This one is going out. These were the patterns we predicted on Friday. So this one is going out. This will probably give you a trade here, but then you're coming down back. Pound Aus has the same structure. Very similar structure. This one already finished. This is about at the top there. Right, to see we're way at the top from this point. So it might go one more. It's making a flag one more, and then you can look for the sell setup. Pound CAD. We're at the top. It did make a top. It came down, but it stopped. So when it came down and it stopped, you close the trade. We're going back. We're making a new high. Take this off. I thought this would drop again, but instead we made a new high. So take this off too. Now we would put this as the bigger flat. That has just become a bigger flat there, see? Because you broke the low. Right? You went the back. So at this point now, you've got to be really, really careful. Take that up. At this point, you have to be really, really careful. We're in this structure, and at some point, unless they break out of the structure, remember I told you, if they don't break out, they have to break out of the structure and consolidate. At some point, you can get a move down and then get a move up again. So at this point, you got to be careful with any buys. Let it break out, let it start to make flag above, and then you continue with it if it keeps going up. And it could keep going up, right? These are corrections. This could climb very high. But because we're in this structure, you have to be cautioned that it could come back here before it goes. So we'll see what happens at that point. There might be a buy setup. You don't have a setup right now, but if you get a flag or so, you consider if it starts to drop, we'll sell it. Aussie, New Zealand, it's going down. Take this out. This was the sell. It didn't get tagged, so you look for another sell setup. It's downside. Just wait for the sell setup, right? It's pulling back quite a lot, so it's not that easy to trade. Remember, we sold this and we sold this, and both were break even, and this one also was break even. So 3 break even trades. Be careful. Aussie CAD coming down. If you're in this sell, you probably close it because the market didn't go. Look for a sell setup here. We're looking for that trade to go down some more, and then we'll see what happens from that point. Aussie Swiss, we're expecting the downside. It's kind of consolidating here, and if they consolidate, they might go one more up, but sometimes they start really slow like this. And then you get a flag, and this flag becomes the sell. So wait for a flag, sell it. We're expecting the downside. New Zealand Swiss, we're expecting at least one more drop like this, and then we go back up. So look for a sell setup at this point if we get it. New Zealand CAD. This might be the only one that has a buy setup on it above this top. Right? At least one more up before we come down. See, there's a big flat there. There's a good chance you might go up one more. Break that up and then start to come down. This corrective structure here will eventually come down. I don't think they're coming down from this point because we do have a flat, and that means they're going to go up one more. CAD Swiss. Wait until we break the top, and then if it's going to drop, we're going to look for downside. Right? When we break the top, you can see there's two sharp waves here we still have to fulfill. Natural gas, correcting, let it make a bigger correction here, and then we look for buy setup. This was a perfect buy we had in the trading room. That trade was called before it went. If you were there, you remember that. Only a few people took the trade. Amazing trade setup, just a few people took it. Okay, if you got tagged there, I hope you close the trade because this is looking like one more up. Right? It will probably pull back if you're still in. Well, you shouldn't be in a trade over the weekend, especially when you have 1, 2, 3, 4 hours sideways. Right? So it tagged you, didn't go take that off. Look for the buy setup short term. See this flag went, they're gonna go up some more. So we're climbing somewhat. This deep pullback didn't mean anything very much as yet, but still watch it, right? We have this deep one here. So even if you make a move there, the chances are you can come back here. Right? Just be careful. Take a buy. It's a buy setup, and then we'll see where we go from there. US oil. Okay, one more up. Similar structure. Now be careful with this. This is really flat structure. If you get a buy setup here and it goes up, be careful with the buy because it's just one single move. Make sure you're buying above the top or something because one single move. If this decides to drop, sometimes they come down slow like this, but then eventually you get a flag and that becomes a sell. If it comes down, give us a flag, we will sell to come back to this level because this looks really flat. Now, can they make one more up and then come? Absolutely. One more impulse and then starts to drop. So if you get into the buy, you have to be really, really, really careful. This is the pattern you're in. See that? And most likely it is going to drop. So even if they break this top here, there's a good chance you break that up and then start coming down. All right, so be careful with that. S&P 500, these were amazing. All right, it's going up. We got that one perfect. We knew it was going to go up. We got the downside as well perfect. Because we knew we were going to get this move down and then it happened and now you're going up. Now, how far are you going to go? You already broke the top, so you got to be careful. Any buy here now you need a flag before you can buy. And you need a really good flag. NASDAQ, same thing. This still has some more. We haven't broken that top. And then from there, you got to be really careful. This pattern looks really flat. Although it's going up, although it looks like a thing, at this point, if you don't get another flag, it could reverse and make a new low. Right? It could come lower. So be careful with that. And let's see US 30. US 30 went up and it's way at the top there now. Remember this one we were forecasting upside only. And now we're at the top of that structure. So we either break out of the structure and keep going, or at some point in this area here, it could turn. This could be a big flat and we drop. I showed you the patterns, right? That this could literally just come here, make a bigger flat, and just drop. Although it's here, it doesn't mean it's going to take off. Just keep an eye on what it does in that area, whether we get flags for buy or we get flags for sell. And then we'll take the trade. DAX. It's kind of, it has some more upside in it. You can see this, it's kind of going up. You might get some more upside to this level for a bigger flat. And then probably more downside, right? This kind of go up here and then you could come back down some more. Nifty. Nifty looks upside. If you get any flag here, buy. Bitcoin. So I'll probably do a separate webinar on all the cryptos. Keep your eyes open for that one and make sure you set your notification. And please watch when you get your notification because Bitcoin, remember, we're looking for this trade. The trade we're looking for is this trade here. And then it can drop. But if it breaks out of that structure, which means if that is not the flat, then we can come back to about this stop. I don't think this is the takeoff to the upside simply because this move is not very impulsive. Right? Normally, if you're going to take off, you need an impulsive move, a correction. And we have a correction, but we don't have an impulsive move. So I think probably we can work our way to the top there, drop again, and then we start to look for that upside. Now, if you're in this buy, all you have to do is put an entry order to sell. There are a few of them that we bought or we're in the buy and you can put an entry order to sell. Ethereum is one of them. If you bought where we say you should buy here. I said put an entry order here to sell. It goes up. If you bought here, once it go a little more, put an entry order to sell. Right? because once it even gets to this top, it can drop again, right? Will it take off from that point? Well, I don't know. Maybe it takes off all the way to the top, but it looks like a flat. See this flat here? 1, 2, 3. We're doing exactly the same thing here. And there's a chance we make a new low before you go. Now, if you're in the buy, you don't have to worry about whether it's going to go or not. You just put an entry order to sell at some point so that you don't take a loss. OMG, same thing. We broke the low. Look for buy setups. I got tagged in the buy in this one already, so I'm in some of this. So let me just bring it up. I'm in some of this. I got tagged on it. I got tagged somewhere in here. It came down back. It's here. So I wanted to go up a little more, and then I'll put it to break even. Now, there's a chance this can drop lower. Right? There's a chance it's only a flat and we drop lower. So if it stays here long enough, if it stays here, you know, if it just breaks that up and look like it's pulling back, I may just close the trade. Right? I want it to go. So let's hope that it just takes off like a rocket. And then we will have enough to put it to break even. Now, remember, these you're not buying with any kind of leverage, so you don't have to worry very much about it, because even if you got tagged here and you drop here, it is going to go back up. You're going to get this move at least back to the top, and you might even get the total upside from this low. So let's see what happens when we break the low again, if we break the low. Remember, we broke the low once. We don't have to break it again. This could take off. So we will look for buy setups. If it makes another flag here, it's a buy setup. I think one of them that has a buy setup is the ADA, right? I have an entry order there to buy some ADA too. This was the first buy that I missed. If you got that one, perfect. It actually it's consolidating here. There's a chance it can get to this level. You'll put your entry order to sell if it should drop. And I'm expecting them to come here. So at least this level here first, right? Somewhere there, and then make some consolidation and go back up. We're looking for this pattern. 1, 2, 3. Come back to the low and then go. Now, if I'm wrong, it's just going to continue to go. So good for you. I think you'll be happy if I'm wrong. What if this is the contracting flat? I don't think it is, but what if that is the contracting flat? Then this is the low and this will take off. I'm not going to forecast a contracting flat. I told you why we don't forecast contracting flats. If you were with us last week, you would know that. So let's see. ADA, XRP. I skipped some, so I'm going to go back to them. XRP is in this big flat. Now, if this drop and break the low, it could still go back up because we're in a flat here that should go back up once more, break the top. So either you get a buy setup here to buy, or it drops and then give you the buy setup. LTC. Upside, I think we're going to go more. We might even break this top, but that is consolidation. It's all one big consolidation. It's not an impulse to the upside. So even if you break this top, you will still come back down. This one is not worth buying. This one went perfect. We only wanted it to break this top, right? The idea was that it's going to go and break that top, which is you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I thought they would even make a flag here before they go, but they actually just went. So here's the question. Are we totally going up? Let's look at the weekly. This is what we have. And you notice every time they make something like this, 1, 2, 3, they tend to come back down. But this one is going really sharp. This is the low point. That is the first move up. This is the pullback. And this, because of the depth of that pullback, we're always thinking flat. Which means when you look at the depth of the pullback on the 4-hour, and the depth of this pullback into the first move up, the chances are this could go back down once more. Any consolidation here will buy. Consolidation means total upside. If it starts to drop, we'll ignore it. If it drops to this level, we wait for this and then you start buying again. Let's go. Link. This one is in consolidation. Stay away. And this one is in consolidation. This one is definitely going to drop one more. This thing looks really, really like a big flat for one more drop. Break this low and then go back up. Now, remember, we broke the low already here. So this, if this is your first impulse up, this could be your correction. This here could be your correction. Right? You could actually look at even this as the correction. And this could go and break the top. But it's not impulsive in any way. This is not very impulsive. This is I think we're looking at a bigger flat here. I'll probably look at it like this, which means this flat should go back to at least this top, break that top, drop one more, and then reverse. When I'm looking at it, it's just a bigger flat right now. Anywhere above here that you got a consolidation, then it becomes a buy. Then we will take this as the low. As of now, I think you're just in a big flat, one more drop, then go. This one, same here. We did break the low twice, but this is not looking very aggressive to the upside. I think this one is the low, but it's not looking aggressive. And then you have this sharp wave. So at some point, you might retest the low before you go back up. I wouldn't buy it to the top here. It has to take off, make a bigger consolidation, then we start buying. And this one. This one is going up, but it's very, very corrective. So there's a very good chance you might even break this low before you go. There's a very good chance it's going to drop one more, break this low, then go. Right? Because it's not moving up as an aggressive move. It's moving up really, really slow. Now, could that change? Well, it needs a sudden spike and then a pullback, and then we can say, okay, well, now it's getting aggressive to go up. Structurally, it could drop from that point. So don't jump into this one as yet. So, okay, guys, I tried as fast as I can. Remember, I didn't elaborate a lot on all the pairs and all the setups we have. During the week, I'll put out an update. Maybe by Tuesday, Wednesday, you'll get an update to this, telling you what the structures are doing and how they're changing. You have a great weekend. Enjoy yourself. And if you would like to join us, if you would like to have these updates twice daily, send me a Skype message. My Skype is in the description. Send me a Skype message and I'll give you all the details on how you can get it. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend. Bye.